Coming up on UCF Nightly News. Stay tuned to find out more on students becoming COVID tracers around campus to help limit the spread of COVID-19. Find out how more than 6,000 Disney employees will lose their job due to the pandemic. And find out how Thanksgiving break will be more than just a holiday this year, but result in a lot of changes for students and people traveling. UCF Nightly News starts now. Good afternoon and welcome to UCF Nightly News. I am Sade Teel and today is November 19th, 2020. Now let's take a look at the coronavirus update. According to the Johns Hopkins University COVID map, Orange County's total case number sits at 52,298 total positive cases. The total death toll comes in at 612. Within the state of Florida, there are over 890,000 cases and a tally of around 17,600 deaths in the state. And nationally, there is about 11 million cases and nearly 240,000 deaths in the U.S. overall. COVID-19 numbers are increasing and some UCF students are helping to stop the spread of the virus. UCF Nightly News reporter Taynna Brito tells us more about what those students are doing to help prevent a possible outbreak.
In hopes of tracking cases on campus more efficiently, UCF now has student contact tracers. More than 700 students applied for the unpaid position as volunteers. Students were selected based on GPA and a short essay about why they wanted to become a COVID tracer. Communications major Desiree Rivera is one of 6 students selected to be COVID tracers. Rivera says she believes being a COVID tracer is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
And then they sent us that opportunity, and so I kind of jumped on it. You know, I think this will be the only time we'll really get an opportunity to do something like this, so I took advantage of it.
Student contact tracers are working 10 hours a week while making calls and asking a series of questions to figure out where and how someone contracted COVID-19. I'm currently outside of the Orange County Health Department, where students contact tracers spend days training on how to conduct contact tracing calls and screenings. UCF nursing professor Jascinth Lindo, who helped in the recruitment process, says students had to complete modules created by the Orange County Health Department to become contact tracers.
And then they had to complete a number of modules. These included HIPAA training, that's the patient confidentiality training, training on COVID itself as a disease, and training on contact tracing.
As of right now, professors leading the contact tracers are interviewing 20 more students to potentially join the COVID tracers team. In Orlando, Taynna Brito, UCF Nightly News. Students who want to be part of the tracers team can visit jobs.ucf.edu to apply for the position. And now, reporter Robert Husby tells us more about how COVID-19 is also affecting theme parks employees.
More than 28,000 layoffs will hit Disney employees due to COVID-19. These layoffs will also affect some UCF students who work at the parks. Over 11,000 layoffs are coming to Disney World cast members alone. The company is also laying off over 700 actors and performers at the parks. UCF nursing student and former cast member Victoria Sanchez recalls her last day working.
It was definitely sad because I wanted to pick up more shifts, but obviously I wasn't able to because they closed down the parks completely. It wasn't even like they were limiting staff. It was completely shut down.
The Disney layoffs aren't only affecting the professional lives of cast members, the layoffs are also affecting their personal lives as well.
Disney says some of the layoffs are resulting in cast members losing their free tuition through Disney Aspire. UCF offers many degrees through the program. Sanchez says the layoffs are taking a personal toll on some fellow cast members.
I think it's more of the emotional rather than the financial aspect of it. A lot of them are struggling with it because they obviously Disney is a fun place to work at. It's not like people go there, like people choose to work there not really for the money but more for the emotions of it.
Disney officials say Aspire students who are losing funding due to the layoffs will be offered a tuition discount
and are eligible to transfer schools. In Orlando, Robert Husby, UCF Nightly News.
Disney has increased park capacity to 35%, which could affect future employment. When we come back, reporter Julia Silva will tell us more about changes coming to Thanksgiving break.
With Thanksgiving break rapidly approaching, the CDC is offering guidelines to help protect people and limit the spread of the virus. CDC officials recommend to host all holiday celebrations outdoors, with limited people in attendance. While CDC officials say it is best for people to not travel, travel is still being allowed. Junior kinesiology major Ashleigh Ingram says COVID-19 is changing all of her Thanksgiving plans, and not for the better.
My grandma was supposed to be coming down next week for Thanksgiving from out of town, and now she's not able to because she is scared of getting COVID, which is understandable. It just sucks because now we have to change so many of our traditions and what we usually do for Thanksgiving.
If you're planning a holiday gathering with people from outside of your household, CDC officials say to consider asking all guests to quarantine for 14 days. Reporter Cliff Tumatel tells us more about how UCF senior students are reflecting on their last year in the midst of a pandemic.
With the fall semester coming to an end soon, upperclassmen are looking back on how COVID-19 affects their academic work and senior year. I spoke with Edina Dzidic, and she says that this semester is something she'll never forget.
Because I'm the type of person that rolls with the punches.
UCF moving to mostly online classes due to the pandemic is impacting many students, especially those approaching senior year. According to Inside Higher Ed, almost 70% of students believe they are not learning as effectively compared to in person. UCF senior student Edina Dzidic says she understands why UCF decided to move fully online and is still learning.
You think they wanted this as like a choice? Of course not, but we have to do it for our safety. But I've definitely learned so much.
While there are some senior students like Edina who are comfortable being taught through Zoom, there are other seniors who are finding this semester to be more of a challenge than they thought it would be. For them, being there physically makes things a lot easier to understand.
Digital media major Nine Lin is currently creating a video game project and a 3D art project. Lin says his major is hard to do remotely.
Because like you have the video tutorials, but it would be a lot nicer to have the professor, like right next to you and like telling you like, oh, like the critiques of like that's wrong with your sculptor.
Lin says he hopes that there will be more face-to-face classes in January to provide him with more hands-on experience. UCF officials say they are working to offer more face-to-face classes in the spring, but after spring break, UCF may move to fully remote once again. In Orlando, Cliff Tumatel, UCF Nightly News.
Coming up next, UCF Nightly News reporter Sade Teel gives us an update on the weather forecast.
Now let's take a look at today's weather forecast. Today's high is 73 degrees with mostly sunny skies, then slight chance of showers and a 10% chance of rain. Tonight the low is 61 degrees with a 10% chance of rain. Tomorrow's high is 79 degrees with a chance of showers and 10% chance of rain. The weather is much cooler than previous days, but you might want to hold on to that umbrella just in case the weather takes a sudden turn. Now for our nightly news sports update.
Football stadium capacity is the talk of college football. College football teams are taking precautions to keep players and coaches safe during the pandemic. This is causing many teams in the country, including Florida, to want to open stadium capacity to more than what it is now. After playing at a packed Texas A&M stadium, UF head coach Dan Mullen said he wanted Florida to move to full capacity for home games. A day after the announcement, Mullen said he contracted COVID-19. UCF say that they have no plans to allow more than 25% capacity in the bounce house until health officials give them the okay.
This Saturday, the UCF Knights football team will take on the number 7 ranked Cincinnati Bearcats.
The Knights are coming off a 38-13 win against Temple last Saturday. UCF is looking for revenge from last season where the Bearcats defeated the Knights. The Knights are averaging 619 yards of offense, while Cincinnati only allows 301 yards a game. UCF quarterback Dillon Gabriel said that this game will not be an easy one for the Knights.
They're a great team. Their defense is very strong. Got some big dudes, and then also just guys who chase the ball and are able to make plays. So I think it'll be a good challenge for us.
If the Knights win on Saturday, they improve their win streak to 4 in a row. You can catch all the action this Saturday in the Bounce House at 3:30 p.m.
The UCF men's basketball season tips off next Saturday against Oklahoma.
The Knights entered the season ranked 8th in the AAC according to the coaches poll. Tickets to the UCF men's basketball games are currently unavailable. The arena is expected to only allow 25% capacity with mandatory social distancing.
I'm here outside of Edina Arena where the UCF Knights men's basketball team will open their season against the Oklahoma Sooners just 9 days from now. The Knights will be without last year's leading scorer, redshirt senior Colin Smith, who opted out of the season for health reasons.
UCF head coach Johnny Dawkins says Smith's presence will be missed.
We're going to miss Colin, on and off the court. He's a great personality. Love being around his teammates. We love being around him. And so it's unfortunate.
Dawkins did specify that Smith's reason for opting out is non-COVID related, but he cannot go into any further detail because of privacy rules. In Orlando, John Whitley, UCF Knightly News.
Reporter Sade Teel brings us to the closing of this COVID special.
That is our time for today. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, you can always watch UCF Knightly News on our YouTube channel. In Orlando, Sade Teel, UCF Knightly News.